Chantress here at the end of the video, and very excited to talk about this. This is apparently a leaked image of what the Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con exclusive will be for 2016. So this is very exciting. Usually, I probably wouldn't have talked about this unless it was characters I was really interested in, and luckily there are characters that I'm very much interested in. So this is very exciting, and I'm super happy to see this, but let's get talking about it. Of course these leaked images came out, one of the main box, and then another of just a close-up on two of the figures, and then another image of the actual shipping box that it was shipping. Have been leaked out. So let's get talking about it. So there is a total of 6 figures in this box set. I'm not quite sure what the theme of this box set is. Mistake me if I'm wrong, but I really don't see a super big connection with any of these characters, other than they're all villains. However, you have Spider-Man thrown in there. And, that would make sense if these were all Spider-Man villains, but like Enchantress and Abomination, Purple Man, I don't think of them as Spider-Man villains at all. And then DreadKnight, I have no idea who he is. And then Sandman is, of course, the only one that's classically, a Spider-Man villain. And then just on the side of the box here, it just says Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, or San Diego Comic-Con 6-inch Legends figures, Marvel Classic. So it's just kind of labeled as Marvel Classic. So I'm not quite sure what the connection is, if this has to do with some sort of storyline. I don't know, but I would love to know if you guys do. So if you do know, please let me know. Going over the actual figures here, we do get a pretty good shot of all of them. The only one that's that we can't see too well is Abomination, but you can see that is clearly Abomination. He's a very big figure. It'll be interesting to see what that figure is, because an Abomination for Marvel Legends was shown in its prototype stages at, was it last year's Comic-Con or Toy Fair, something like that, quite a while ago. And that was basically what was rumored to be the Build-A-Figure of this newest Captain America wave, which is already on pre-order. So now, possibly that's not the case. There's a couple ways that this is going to go down. That is still the Build-A-Figure, and this is just a repaint of the Build-A-Figure, which is why it's part of the exclusive set, but the mass retail will be able to get it with a slightly different paint job in that Captain America wave, or that isn't the Build-A-Figure for the Captain America wave and it's exclusively for this set, or probably not the case, but there is always the option that was the Build-A-Figure for the Captain America wave, and this is just some repaint of like a Hulk mold with some newly sculpted parts that's just meant to be this exclusive set. I'm not quite sure. If I had to guess, I would assume that this is the Build-A-Figure from the Captain America wave, but just repainted for this set. That's my personal guess, and also you're going to be able to get it early, basically, because that Captain America wave isn't set to come out until 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really cool. I'm a huge Abomination fan, so I definitely want to get an Abomination figure, and I'm really hoping I can get my hands on one of these sets. So that's fantastic. Can't really see too much of him, so I can't judge the figure. And then the next one is Enchantress. Enchantress is a really cool character. I think this figure looks really good. I can't tell if that's a new head sculpt. The head sculpt does look pretty similar to Scarlet Witch's, so I hope that they didn't just repaint the Scarlet Witch head sculpt. I hope it is a brand new mold. And as you can see, she can. The head sculpt should be. I would have liked it a little more extravagant. Like the picture that I have here, the horns on it, or the little the pieces that shoot up at the top there, can be really sharp and everything. I don't see them being super big and sharp in this as far as the toy goes, but it is hard to tell. As well as just in that picture, her hair is going crazy. It looks fantastic, but this, her hair is just kind of just laying there. But I understand why they would go with that choice. And then of course her suit, it looks like just a repaint of Scarlet Witch. Even the way that her suit is on seems very reminiscent of Scarlet Witch, so I would imagine that is just a repaint of Scarlet Witch, with repaints of her accessories, but now in green. And then the only new piece to it that I can tell is the skirt area. So I think that's a repaint with a new skirt and possibly a new head. Then we go to DreadKnight. DreadKnight is a character that, I don't know, I'm pretty good when it comes to villains. I do have a pretty extensive knowledge on Marvel villains in general, in comics, movies, anything like that. But DreadKnight, I really just don't know. And he doesn't even look familiar. You know, even if I don't quite know a villain, I can obviously recognize them and probably know their name. But him, I don't even recognize him. But he looks cool, I have to say. I like the helmet. It looks like he has some cool little wings on it, and a very kind of medieval attire there, which looks very nice. In this picture that I found of him, he has a pretty big cape on, and he's obviously riding on something. I don't know what that is. The figure doesn't look to have that cape, but it's hard to tell. But I don't think that he has a cape on. Might just be the image though, and he might actually come with one, but I don't think so. The helmet, from what I can see, looks pretty nice, and then it does look like a repaint of the Hawkeye mold, even using the same little skirt piece as Hawkeye comes with. But you know, that fits Dreadwing, or DreadKnight, so I think that's pretty fine. Then we have Spider-Man. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like it's just a repaint of the movie Spider-Man. I'm not sure, though. I would imagine that it is just a repaint of a previously released Spider-Man, or maybe it's just a completely just reissue of a Spider-Man. I'm not sure. And then there is Purple Man, which is awesome. I don't have a single Purple Man figure, and obviously Purple Man made his cinematic debut in the Netflix series of Jessica Jones, and he was the main villain of that, played by, I can't remember the guy's name, but I'm a big fan of the actor. He's been Doctor Who, he's been on Broadchurch. I do like that actor a lot. So overall, I really enjoyed him in the Netflix show, so I am very happy to get a comic version of him. The head sculpt, it's hard to tell, but it looks like an original sculpt, and then the rest of him is just repainted from Chameleon or J. Jonah Jameson, or, you know, Hammerhead, or whatever you want to call that figure, but it is just a repaint using that, you know, which is fine for me because he obviously just wears a suit, so it's an easy repaint for them to do, and it makes sense. And then lastly, we have Sandman in his all sand mode. Now, seeing Sandman here, I would imagine that we're going to get another Sandman in the future, just because if we weren't, I would have expected them to do the classic Sandman, but considering they did him in the all-sand mode, I think that there is a very good chance that we will get a classic-looking Sandman in the future down the line. I think that that's just a repaint of one of the bigger body sculpts that was like Nuke and Cable. I think that that's just a repaint of that. However, I could be mistaken there, and it could actually be a new mold simply because it looks like there's some texture in the torso to make it kind of look like sand. Now, that may be just the lights and the way that he has the stripes painted on his torso there, so it could just be my eyes tricking me. However, it does look like there's a bit of detail in there, but again, I'm not quite sure. The head sculpt does appear to be a new mold, and it looks like he just has regular arms. I really hope, and fingers crossed, that they do include like some extra sand accessories, like an interchangeable sand hand or arm or something like that. That would be really cool. But there you go. This is an excellent assortment, just for me personally, because I'm a big Villains fan, and you know, all of these, if they were released on retail, I'd get them all immediately. They'd probably be the ones that I was most excited for in the wave. So to get a box set that has Abomination, Enchantress, DreadKnight, Purple Man, and Sandman would be fantastic. Really hoping I can get my hands on this. You know, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives do go on sale on Hasbro's website a couple weeks after Comic-Con. However, it becomes extremely hard to get them. Usually the website moves extremely slow because of the increase in traffic on it, and it can be difficult to get the exclusives. But fingers crossed, I would definitely even pay over what they're charging for it on eBay if I had to, because this looks like a great assortment. So there you go. That's my thoughts on this new and the first Hasbro San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that we've seen. Tell me what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.